Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Bati. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Perfect. Good morning, Ayo.
I feel like singing Lady in Red. Looking stunning.
Go ahead. And you're wearing my favorite color, fuchsia. Dr. Bati, take note. You know that. How are you? You know
fuchsia.
How are you, Rufai?
He's dancing with me.
I love it. Well, all right. You play too much. We play too much. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
No, it's okay.
It's fine, right?
It's work as play.
As long as you say so. As long as you say so, Dr. Bati. Take charge.
Work as play.
Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United States, 7 people were killed in 2 related shootings on Monday at an agricultural facility in a California coastal community south of San Francisco, marking the state's 3rd mass killing in 8 days, including an attack on Saturday, January 21st at a dance hall that killed 11 during Lunar New Year celebrations. 4 out of the 11 people killed in Saturday's shooting have been identified. The incident is one of the deadliest mass shootings in California's recent history. In Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari performed the historic inauguration of the Lekki Deep Sea Port and the Mota Rice Mill project in Lagos on Monday. The Deep Sea Port was constructed by China Harbour Engineering Company. It occupies 90 hectares of land reserved for the Lagos Free Zone and has the capacity to allow 18,020 equipment unit vessels. The Mota project is a 32 metric tons per hour rice mill built by the Lagos State government to tackle food insecurity in the country. The project, which is also expected to generate 1,500 direct jobs and 254,000 indirect jobs, has the capacity to produce 2.8 million 50-kilogram bags of rice yearly. Then, the People's Democratic Party held their campaign rally in Bayelsa State, where supporters displayed their rich cultural heritage aboard a canoe on Oxbow Lake Pavilion in Yenagoa. The party's flag bearer, Atiku Abubakar, promised to devolve more powers to the Niger Delta, stating that the region does not need to beg the federal government for everything because it produces the nation's resources.
Here in Bayelsa State, you have faced a number of security challenges. You have lost so many people due to breaches of law and order. I promise I will restore security in this country.
Under sports, 7-time Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton revealed on Monday that he was subjected to racial abuse from the young age of 6 at his school and at a point had bananas thrown at him. Speaking on Purpose podcast, the 38-year-old Mercedes driver admitted that his school days were probably the most traumatizing and most difficult part of his life, while detailing a number of racially abusive terms that he was referred to at school.
The constant jabs, the things that are either thrown at you like bananas, or people that would use the M word just so relaxed. People calling you half-caste and, just really not knowing where you fit in. That for me was difficult.
Finally, under entertainment, multiple award-winning artist Beyonce has returned to the stage for her first live performance in 5 years with a private concert in Dubai to mark the opening of luxury hotel Atlantis The Royal. Despite a strict no phones policy at the exclusive 1,500-seat arena, footage of the show flooded the internet. Many fans were thrilled to see the return of Queen Bee, but others weren't happy because Dubai has strict laws against same-sex relationships. Renaissance, her latest album, has been celebrated for honoring Black queer culture and taking inspiration from LGBT icons.
You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul.
Well, let's begin what's trending in Bauchi State, where the presidential campaign rally of the All Progressives Congress ended abruptly over a power outage and a faulty sound system. The rally, which took place at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium, ended shortly after the national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Adamu, mounted the podium and began delivering his speech. President Muhammadu Buhari, who was present at the rally to officially present the APC candidates, including the party's flag bearer, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to the Bauchi electorate, had to leave the rally without giving a speech. A lot of people on social media have said that the organizers of this rally should be punished because, I mean, this is probably the first time the president will attend a rally and not able to deliver his speech. But let's take some tweets. This is from Albert, who wrote, "Simple political rally, APC can't plan and execute. And you want Nigerians to trust you again for another 4 years to Fiakwa. The gods of electricity is fighting back and putting confusion into your rank and file. Putting us in darkness for 24 years will never go unpunished." While Sonny wrote, "How can a party who cannot organize a hitch-free campaign with all the resources available to them manage a country as ours with all her challenges? This is a clear case of lack of ability to do things right." Well, in the meantime, the Director of Media and Publicity of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Onanuga, in a tweet on Monday, debunked rumors about the party's flag bearer, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's alleged inability to hold a teacup firmly by posting a video showing Tinubu holding a broom firmly while showing off his dance moves. Let's take a look. Well, you know, there was that story by Najatu Muhammadu, a former APC chieftain, who claimed that, you know, Tinubu had Alzheimer's or something, and, you know, she'd had meetings with him and he couldn't hold the teacup. But we could see Tinubu there, you know, dancing and holding the broom. I mean, I think that it was nice that Bayo Onanuga posted that video. But that rally, Dr. Abati, it was quite something, wasn't it?
Well, the rally in Bauchi, these things happen.
Yeah.
You could have technical glitches, okay, because the organization of the rally, the logistics, oftentimes, you know, that gets contracted out to consultants whose job it is to make sure that things go smoothly. Now, if they fail, if they drop the ball, you know, as party members, there's very little that you can do about it. We were told that there was, you know, electricity, you know, cut, and the microphone went off, or that somebody tampered with the wire and all that. So it was a good thing that President Muhammadu Buhari was there to at least experience firsthand what Nigerians go through. Facing, yes. That we also suffer electricity outage, that things don't go well in terms of the supply of electricity. He didn't make a speech. In any case, the microphone was not working, but he still managed to hand over the flag to the gubernatorial candidate of the APC in the state. But what I think is also important about that rally is not the fact that the presidential candidate left or the president left or that the event could not go on as planned, but also that, look, the two parties came together. The governor of Bauchi State was there to receive the president. Other members, you know, who are key officials in the state, they were there to receive the president. And this is what we preach. You know, beyond partisanship, you know, there are certain protocols that have to be followed. The third point that needs to be made is that the president was there. He had very little time because he needed to also come to Lagos for a 2-day, visit to commission, inaugurate, attend to some projects. And he got to Lagos later in the day at about 4 p.m. But, this is political season. People will play politics with just about anything. So these things happen because human beings are involved and human beings make mistakes. And it doesn't matter whether it's a political rally or any other thing. As for Mr. Bayo Onanuga, I'm not aware that Mr. Onanuga has taken a degree in medicine. But, we live in such times that, many Nigerians have become medical doctors. So how do you weigh, the value of a broom and a teacup? I know some teacups that are very heavy to carry, heavier than a broomstick. But in any case, that's the kind of situation in which we have found ourselves.
Yes.
But the bigger point is about the health of the presidential candidates. Having gone through the experience of sickness and death, as Olusegun Adeneye has reported in his book of a similar title, Orientation, Nigerians are now saying, look, for us to have a president, we must look for a man that is healthy and that we are convinced is healthy. It's not about malice. It's God that determines people's health. Pardon my, throwing the religious line. But the truth of the matter is that when you apply for a job, don't they ask people to go for medical checkup? But the people who have taken up the medical checkup assignment now are surrogates, journalists, who have become spokespersons and all of that. But the average Nigerian voter is just saying, we just want our president to be healthy.
Yeah.
Not a president, that will be on steroids or that will be in and out of office. In fact, some people have gone to the extent of saying that maybe we should be arranging jogging exercise for anybody who wants to be president of Nigeria. You jog. Let us see whether you can do 100 meters, 300 meters. However, that's not a requirement under the Constitution of Nigeria.
According to Kenneth Okonkwo, in that last interview, you got that right. He goes, let's see if your principal can do pam, pam, pam. Yeah. We need someone who has the ability to go up the stairs like pam, pam, pam. It was so funny, right? Rufai.
I mean, it's so funny. The theater of the assault happens in Nigeria. Concerning the microphone glitch and the electricity glitch, I think it just also goes further to show the inefficiencies of the service industry in Nigeria. And I think it speaks volumes about those that these things were contracted to. And I think heads are rolling by now. I think by now, that's a national embarrassment.
Yes.
And also, if the president is going to be there, I think his protocol team too should be able to have contingency plans as regards, even microphones used by the president and things like that. And all of that, because it's sad that the president of a country of over 200 million people, because somebody couldn't power up their power somewhere, he couldn't still speak.
He couldn't.
So they couldn't make a contingency plan.
No.
I think we should start thinking of that. If possible, the president should be able to have a special microphone that can be connected to anything.
The president of Nigeria travels with his own microphone.
That can be connected.
But it's not loud enough to cover a stadium.
That can be connected to anything.
But he couldn't connect. There was electricity. There was an electricity glitch, so he can carry his microphone there. But how would he connect it?
Dr. Abate,
That's the issue.
I've seen microphones being passed around even at a campaign. That it was not a special microphone that was given to the president.
But he has his own microphone.
He has his own microphone.
I'm telling you, as a man who managed the president's communications for 4 years.
If that is the case, and we don't have that in place here, then it is problematic. And I think the APC must sanction those. Whoever is part of the planning committee that organized that rally in Bauchi that made them, the APC, look bad, they must sanction them and heads must run. If possible, if they've not paid them their balance, they should withhold their balance.
Yes.
I think that's the way to sanction people here, but it speaks volumes. Concerning about healthcare, we must be able to tell ourselves, the nerves to lift a cup of tea is different from that to hold a broom.
Okay.
So I don't know people that are doing medical sciences and giving all sorts of analysis and saying because somebody holds a broom. The nerves to lift a cup of tea are two different things than to hold a broom.
Really?
Let us be very, very factual. No, but it's true now. The nerves to lift a cup of tea is different from the nerve to hold a broom.
The broom above his head.
Yeah.
I mean, No, I mean,
Well,
it was
at least
lifted
to head level.
To a head level, but it doesn't matter. But isn't it funny that
But
it's...
what if he has to carry something bigger than the broom?
No, but I'm sure he does that effectively well. But I think the most important thing here is that our campaign has now been degraded to a level where we are even looking at abilities of lifting cup of tea and lifting broom in a country that is suffering at over 200 million people. You're saying he didn't lift it up to the shoulder of the head. You see, he put it down. That's what he did there.
Okay.
You know, he didn't lift it to a position of head level. They can play the video again. You see, did he lift it to his head? Did he put it on over his head?
Okay.
No, so there are differences there. Whatever this might be, my major concern is, please, God gives life. God gives health. I've even talked about an American president that was on a wheelchair, but he ran the country effectively during the war. All we need is let us even know what is wrong medically with our leaders. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, we know he had polio. It was polio that made him paralyzed. FDR. We don't know the health condition of almost of our leaders, and we can't afford this in a country where till today, for over 100 days, the president was out of the country. We don't know what was going on. You are talking about President Yar'Adua that died in office. So today we don't know what killed him. Some said pericarditis, some said Chong-Strauss syndrome. The Nigerian people have a right to know. And if you can't disclose your health, whatever, don't come out. Don't come out. But as long as you run for presidency, we must be able to disclose our health. So I call on it, and I want, public affairs analysts and, social commentators and civil society to take it up. If possible, we should push laws that makes, presidential candidates to declare their health record and show us something before they run for presidency. Nobody has problems with that. Everybody, and please, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has a fair chance to run for president just like anybody, but please, they must declare their health record. And it must not be about the son who can lift a cup of tea or lift a broom.
It has to be the person who has the ability to go, pam, pam, pam. I can't stop, I can't.
The president of Nigeria must be able to carry weights. Which kind of after all, one president told us about weight carrying in, okay, you know where.
Yes. And because we don't want any other Pobia case again.
So I was just going to say that the president or the APC should report to the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, for bad service from the contractors. I thought that was a national embarrassment in terms of it's not just for the APC. Yes, it was an APC rally, but it had it had presence the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When you have events like that, it should be only the highest quality of services that are made available. But something else I have to say is that I quite like the fact that our public officials or public servants experience what Nigerians experience on a day-to-day basis, that it becomes normal. I hope that beyond failed electricity or power, they would also come into our traffic. Let them feel and understand what the average Nigerian is going through. The president is currently in Lagos State now. The traffic is horrendous, but he gets to fly in a chopper and go around, and so there's a disconnect. Perhaps if they used more services than Nigerians used, then there'd be more, they'd understand our issues better. So that's one. Then the other parts that we didn't talk about was that he visited the Emir of Bauchi, where he said that's the president, where he gave himself a pass mark for his 7.5 years in leadership. And that has also caused a lot of conversation. People are saying that, he said that this is not the first time he's saying that. But I don't think that the one who's writing the examination is the one that would also score your performance. The real examiners of how well he has done as president of Nigeria are the Nigerian people whom he's serving. So that's something else that happened in Bauchi.
Well said, Ayo. We shall take another story. Discussing the frustration many Nigerians faced at the Murtala Muhammed International Airport in Lagos on Monday after staff of the Nigerian Aviation handling company, NAHCO, embarked on a strike over salary increment. The workers were said to have withdrawn their services in the wee hours of Monday, disrupting both inbound and outbound flights. NAHCO provides ground handling, passenger services, and other services to several airlines, including Nigeria's largest airline, Air Peace. Air France, Ethiopian Airlines, and Delta Airlines amongst others. The NAHCO union was said to have commenced the strike without giving notice to the management or airlines that demanded that NAHCO management withdraw the suit. It filed against the unions at the National Industrial Court for them to desist from going on industrial strikes. The strike action resulted in losses for the airlines and passengers, some who were found helplessly sitting and sleeping on the floor, while others loitered around the airport premises amid heightened frustration and anger. The management of NAHCO on Monday evening, after a meeting, agreed to withdraw the suit it filed against the unions, and have also agreed that negotiations on staff welfare will resume on January 25th. You know, Dr. Bati, yesterday, the first thing that came to my mind was, what a lawless country. I mean, this is just ridiculous that this actually happened, leaving Nigerians stranded for hours at the airport. I mean, there was a case in the industrial court that the management had filed, stopping these NAHCO staff or union from embarking on industrial action strikes like that. And they went ahead to do it to threaten their management and threaten their management, saying that they should withdraw the suit. But they did flout the law, leaving Nigerians stranded. This is my biggest anger. I can't imagine if I was at the airport at that time and maybe missed an important flight. And then billions of millions of naira losses by airlines. Dr. Abati.
Well, in ordinary times, it's a nightmare traveling through Nigerian airports. It's either the facilities are not working or the quality of service is horrendous, or the airline officials or the airport staff themselves are antagonistic and problematic. Now, to add to that, to throw into that mix the kind of strike action that we witnessed yesterday is to further compound the agony, the anger, the frustration of the average Nigerian traveler. Many people miss their flights going abroad. Terrible. Qatar Airways had to go back to Doha because the airline could not land in Nigeria. Then, of course, at the last minute, the affected stakeholders started rushing to hold a meeting to resolve the problem. My question is this, and I asked Captain Ado Sanusi, CEO of Aero Contractors, when he was on this program earlier, who is going to pick up the cost of the damages that have been done? Because there are persons there who will have missed important engagements that they were supposed to go for. There are persons who have gone, you never even know. There may be persons who have medical conditions, who have been through all kinds of, agony. Look at adults just hanging around in the car park, within the vicinity of the airport. So it's not good, for the country's image. It's not good for the NCAA that manages our airports. It's not good even for NAHCO itself. Why is it not good for NAHCO itself? If it is true, indeed, that there was a court order stopping the strike, NAHCO says he gave notice, 5-day notice. Okay, why didn't the relevant officials act before then? And if NAHCO then defied the court, okay, it's called contempt of court, contempt es fasciculae, contempt away from the face of court, because you are not allowed under the law to disobey a court order. That would be a violation of the rule of law. So maybe subsequently, maybe that will be taken up. The third point, well, this is not an unusual thing. Even in the UK, the other day, after all, airline workers went on strike because of cost of living crisis, because of salary payment and all of that. So it happens in other parts of the world too. It's just that here, we don't have a system in place for addressing, omissions, failures. We don't have standard protocols for doing the right thing and ensuring best practice. Finally, it's good that they say they will now talk. They will start talking from tomorrow. We are told negotiations will continue. Those negotiations could have been held before now.
Ahead of time.
But now that they want to talk to the workers, we hope that good reason will prevail on both sides, either from management side or also from NAHCO side. The point was made by Captain Ado Sanusi that there is what looks like a monopoly, and that you need to break that monopoly. And I was saying, apart from NAHCO, you also have Sky Aviation Handling Company, SACO, that is also there But I understand that NAHCO, is a dominant force that determines everything else. So these are some of the ancillary issues beyond salary that need to be addressed.
Real quickly, I think everybody that their flight was disrupted one way or the other that they suffered yesterday, if they can come together, they should file a class action lawsuit.
Absolutely.
And people should be copied in that lawsuit. NAHCO should be in that lawsuit. The Federal Aviation Authority should be in that lawsuit. And other, responsible, respective bodies that are involved in that, all of them should be in that lawsuit. And I think the lawsuit should go into billions and multi-billions of naira. Because you see, if we keep keeping quiet and we don't speak up, madness will continue in Nigeria. If we want to be mad, we can all be mad together. All right? So people should be able to file class action lawsuits, take them to court. Because I read NAHCO's rebuttal that even annoyed me the most.
Which is?
They just said, oh, we've settled everything. We thank for the understanding of our clients. There was no apology in all of that. And I didn't see any apology. I went to their Instagram page this morning and I read it. And that's not how to issue a press conference, press statement. I'm sorry. Yeah. You have to have empathy for the people you disrupted their business. So a class action lawsuit should be filed. People must go to court. They must whip it out. And enough of this level of madness.
Yes.
Flights get cancelled. I was involved in one. I'll never forget Air France. It happened to me. Yeah. But I got pre-advanced notice.
Yeah, but there's a difference between the union and the NAHCO management. It's the union that fails to give the management.
So it be the union, whatever it might be, when we all go to court, they will be untangling it one by one.
Thank you very much, Ojineka.
Great analysis,
this thing is already
as always. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.